Before you start a slide, just have a kind of a feeling. Suppose you are buying something online, like in Amazon.com itself. What do you do first? You log on to Amazon.com. You will search what are the product that you would like to buy. Select it. Then you will put it in your shopping cart. Then you choose the option of credit card or debit card, or if you have any promotion coupons. Then you will give your credit card details. Then you will submit it. Then what happens? It says the process. I mean, your payment is in progress. Please wait. Then it will send you a message that your payment is completed. These are the steps that you do, right? Now assume that you are an end customer for a company where they have an SAP. Assume that even Amazon.com in the backend they have SAP, right? When you interacting, you are looking on the browser, but when it goes into in the backend, how it happens, and on the how the process happens on the portal, how the process happens, that you have to understand carefully. Now, when you open a web browser, say Amazon.com, what do you see? You see that the branding. So on the left side, the features and the products will be there. On the right side, you will see the login details. On the top, you will see logo. On the bottom, you see terms and conditions. These type of things, what we call in Builder Directory, is a branding. So what you have to do is you have to make a specification. And the specification you see on the left panel, right panel, boxes, and the top. And the navigation menu, everything you have to define on a Word document, okay, including the colors and fonts. I'm sharing my experience, including the colors and fonts. They said that use this particular font in this character, this much size of the character, is a Roman or Arial, whatever it is. Across the screen, you will see all sorts of the branding issues that you have to capture. You capture it, and which have to be hyperlinked, which should not be hyperlinked. Whenever you click on any hyperlink, where it has to go, that you have to put it on a document. That is called functional specification from SAP standpoint. Then what you do, you give that specification to Enterprise Portal. Enterprise Portal team, the team who will be developing the Enterprise Portal. Okay, that guy, he will prepare a design and he will come up, but that is only the front end. When you click on hyperlink, now then what you have to do is you have to go back and interface with some of the systems. Now in our case, the customer who is in a portal, who is having a portal in front of him, that is nothing but a browser in front of him, he won't look what is happening in the backend. He wants to see all these SAP invoices on the screen, SAP credit memos and debit memos, as well as the disputed cases on his screen. That what is expected, that he doesn't expect anything what is going on behind the screen. So now it is your call which hyperlink it has to do what. If you click on the left side bills, it has to go and bring all the invoices. If you click on the credit memo, it has to go to SAP and bring all the credit memos. If you click on the dispute case, then what happens? He has to system has to go and bring all the dispute cases existing for that customer, or alternatively, if he has to create a dispute case, the dispute case create screen has to appear on the screen. So it means, what I'm explaining all this is, I'm gradually taking you step by step into the relation between your web browser and SAP. Web browser is nothing but your portal. Now what happens, this guy who your enterprise portal person says, hey, I created a link, now tell me where this link has to do, what it has to do. I have, on the left side it says that, okay, this is the bills. Display the bills. This is credit memos. This is debit memos. This is all the payment, already payments made. And then you will have on the left languages. On the other left, then you see the customers. Other customers. Other customer means one customer can make payment on behalf of other customers also. You can have several accounts, doesn't matter. Then he says that, okay, I created a browser. I designed it as per your logo and the branding requirements. Now tell me, if I click this, where this connection has to go. I said that this connection has to go to SAP system and bring the open invoice from BSID table. He says, first you are a functional consultant, I understand your requirement, but I am a portal person. I don't know how to go and get the data from your SAP. That's what he says. Doesn't matter. Then we'll bring the Java person. So we will tell the Java person this is how the data has to pass. Then he will have JTE inject, which will say that how the data has to pass from web browser to SAP. Now, okay, Java person, he will bring it to SAP system. Now, from SAP system, how to pull the data? It is ABAPer's part. Now, the ABAPer, what he does is, he will use a web service and write a code and put that code, and he will pull the information. SAP uses three-tier architecture: application server, presentation server, database. Your application server is SAP, your presentation server is SAP frontend. Your applications are the modules. Your database is all the tables and records where you store. That data you can pull it from the table only using the ABAP. You pull the ABAP and the data has to go to your browser. So in between that process, pulling the data from SAP tables and pushing it to front end, this is the activity of your Java and ABAPer. I will let you know that where ABAPer and Java has to come, what they have to do it. So this is end-to-end application, how it happened from process functionality point of view, not SAP functionality, not business process, functions from technical standpoint. In SAP FSCM Builder Direct, you cannot see the end-to-end functionality the way that you have seen in case of credit collection and disputes. Okay, because you need a portal, you need a Java, and you also need an ABAPer. However, understanding the Builder Direct concept itself is a very big deal, and most of the people, I can say that 90% consultant who said the nails the Builder Direct, they don't know the functionality. But I will let you know the challenges that will come, the real-time activities that you have to handle, and the client requirements that will come, and number of other systems other than your portal, Java, and ABAP and SAP. You have to do some more interfaces with external systems. How do you do that? And similarly, what functionalities you derive with external system also, that we will see in the discussion. See, web applications always on HTML. In the HTML, what it does, it calls some functions. That functions are written by ABAPer. Now, the enterprise portal person need your front-end application, how it looks like. That you will write a functional specification and give it to him. And your ABAPer, it doesn't know that what information is to be pulled from SAP. For that, you write another specification, run this table using this function module, bring this data and put in enterprise portal call functionality, and that enterprise portal call functionality will pull the data and display it to the customer. ABAP for all that what he knows, he will ask you, tell me what data is to brought from what table. That he will tell you. 90% of consultants who says that they are FSCM consultants, they would not be knowing Builder Direct, in-house cache, bank communication management, and treasury and risk management. These things they don't know. They know only credit collection dispute, including technical folks also. Technical folks also doesn't know that how your Builder Direct works. What they know is how to pull the data from SAP and how to put the data in the call function. Then that call function is to be given to enterprise portal guy who will take care of putting that in the web browser, and how the data pulled into SAP is known only to the customer. The data is coming, what data is coming, that you know it. Neither enterprise portal person knows it, nor your ABAPer knows it. It is all only you, a functional person, knows that how the end-to-end functionality works. But you will tell them what technical things they have to do it, what data is to be fetched, you will tell them. They know how to fetch the data. But what data they are fetching, how they are putting, they neither portal nor your ABAPer knows it. Now let us see the components. What components we are going to discuss is introduction of our Builder Direct, features of Builder Direct, users and processes, notification concept, Builder Direct business process. These are the things that we will see in the training as a part of PowerPoint presentation. Then we will also see the configuration of the system. Since we don't have a portal, but you don't have how it looks on the screen, but SAP has provided a presentation that we will use it and see that how the screens look like on the portal. Similar functionality you have to put in a Word document as per your client requirement. Now the client says that my portal should look like this. Sometimes some of the customers says that, customers means client, your client says that I already have a portal, say like suppose www.bosch.com, www.sony.com, www.amazon.com, they already have portals. Now they say that I don't want something new. Rather, in this portal, I will use one more functionality where the customers can redirect it to other website, which is nothing but your Builder Direct functionality. That is also possible. For us, it doesn't matter. For us, from SAP perspective, it doesn't matter. You directly log into a Biller Direct portal, or from X portal to Y portal, if they want to move, they can move it. In some of the websites, if you click on the link, the system will redirect to some other portal, some other page. It can be other page, or it can be other website. So similarly, if we activate your Biller Direct portal or Biller Direct web functionality, from security perspective, what these guys they do portal guys, okay, you just click this one payment option, that I will take you directly to SAP Biller Direct, which is an independent functionality and nothing to do with the corporate website. The corporate website will give you all the information, like your products, your services, your contact person, your activities, your achievements, your awards, everything will be there. But your Biller Direct is nothing to do with all that. Your Biller Direct is linked only with the payments. But at the same time, to give a one single point of login, what is called is single sign-on. To give a single sign-on functionality, the customers what they can do is straight away they can go to our website, they can log into the website, they select the payment option, which immediately will take you to SAP Biller Direct portal. When the moment you come to SAP Biller Direct portal, all that they can see is that their invoices with the business, the debit memo, credit memo, all over whatever I said. Then you also will have on the bottom, like, would you like to make a payment? Then you click on that. Then it will redirect to your internal secure server. There you will select your credit card, debit card, or what option you want to make payment. You select it. Then it will ask you to give your information. Then you will have a backend, where in the backend you will maintain customer database with credit card information, all that, which is a secured information. When you process the payment, it will go to your Visa or your MasterCard, where that card data will be processed. Then it goes to customer bank, and it takes the money from the customer bank, and it will put it to your client's account. That functionality end to end, it is our consultant's role. But what help you get from the business or client is, they know that already they must be having that functionality and use it for some other purpose. Now what we are doing is, we are just bringing that process into SAP to make payment for SAP invoices. So all that what you are doing, they know that they have a portal functionality, they have a secured services and secured server, which will interact with the different Visa cards or MasterCards or some other American Express card, whatever it is. They know how to interact, how to get the money. But from SAP perspective, one more thing what you have to take care is reconciliation process, particularly from finance point of view. How it happens, the reconciliation is, I'm just trying to give the brief before we go into the slides. The slides will have bit and pieces, and it takes time for you to link them and come up with a kind of a full solution. So instead of taking you bit and pieces and giving you end-to-end business functionality, then we will look into the slides one by one, which you can correlate our discussion. For the time being, forget about the training point of portal. Let us assume that even in your real-time system, you have, suppose in your post they're planning to introduce a Biller Direct. If you have Biller Direct, now see internally they set up the portal. You have a portal, they got linked, you have a Java person, you have a web person, everything is there. Now you have to develop a prototype. Prototype is look and feel. You try to process some payment of $10. In whose account it has to go, from where you get it. For that, you have to sign an agreement with the bank as well as the third-party agency. What they do is, they also set up some development system, they also set up some QA system. The way you have in SAP system, they also have a development, they have a QA system. Then every time your portal guy will talk to them, and every time they link it to development. We say that you're still in the development system, can you link it to your development system? Then he will put in a development system, he will make some dummy account there, he put some dummy amount, then you can transfer the data to your system. But those are all dummy, you are not real time. And ask them to move the quality. So anytime when you do a portal transaction, it will point to their quality system. Now the point comes, Raghav, how do they know that? Which system is pointing to which system? It is all IP address. The IP address that we call in the portal will tell to which system it has to point from, which server of your bank also. When you move to production system, you have to notify your banker as well as third-party agency. Guys, we are moving to production system. Please point our hits or transactions to your production system. Before that, there's a lot of process called authorizing and signature. You have to make an agreement that your systems are secure, and anything wrong or anything that goes against the customers, you hold the responsibility for the transaction that you are processing. Unless you give that particular authorization to the bank, he will not even allow to touch your portal entry into their production system. There is a legal agreement that you have to sign it. The bank will give you that format. You have to sign as a client. I are representing Bosch company. We are implementing so and so module, or at least we are doing some this business process using this portal. Our customers want to make a payment. We have completed the process. I tell you, there is a organization where you have to make the there's a standards. That standard, I'll let you know the company name. I'm not remember often. You are maintaining those standards, and the standards are followed, complied. They will give a certification. Using the certification, you have to sign an agreement with that particular bank. Then the bank will open to allow your portal link to that particular server. This is what you have to get. This is where most of the Biller Direct trainees or Biller Direct students will fail when they attend the interview. They look into that Java, they look into SAP Biller Direct, they read the material. But when you go to the customer place, that's your client. There are two things. I'm talking about customer means your client. You are a consultant, your customer. The other customer is an end customer of the client. All that what I'm talking about is about your client. Your client, when you conduct the workshop, all these questions will come. How do you ensure that this transaction is a secure transaction and there won't be any issues, nobody will be able to break it? You have to have one idea, I'm not remember, I'll let you know that. That organization will give the standards, and you have to ensure that that particular compliance is met. Okay, these things are important which you should remember when you go for real-time interview. But again, it is not really that that problematic. The only thing is you should know the process. Across this training, we'll see introductions, features, users and process, notification concept, Biller Direct business process. And one more person I didn't tell you in this particular training is you also need to involve basis person. Basis means system administrator for SAP, because you have to set up. He has to set up three types of users: pool users, reference users, web users. He has to set up in the basis. We will see that what does it mean web users, what does it mean reference user, what does it mean pool users. That we will let you know that. So there are 4 or 5 people, as I said. All these people have to be there as a part of the team to implement Biller Direct successfully. Now, what is the Biller Direct? It's a component of SAP FSCM, provide an SAP solution of electronic bill presentment and bill payment. Bill presentment, bill payment means presenting a bill means as soon as an invoice is created, you have to ensure that that invoice is available to the customer. Your invoice is nothing but bill. There are 2 different ways. I'm not sure, but you must be getting alerts from your credit card company stating that your credit card bill is generated, ending so and so account number, payment amount is this due, last date is this. Using these 3 statements, these 3 lines, you will get an alert. Then what you do is, you want to see the account. Then you will log into your bank credit card account and you will see all the transactions. One is you are getting an alert. The second one is you will log into system. Getting an alert means just presenting the high level information of the bill. The second one is if you want to see the account, you are allowing the end customer to log into the portal and see all his invoices. That is what present and payment. You are allowing the customer to make a payment also. SAP Biller Direct allows organizations to set up electronic billing, electronic payments, and integrate customer services and financial management using an internet portal. In SAP we call it as an enterprise portal, but you also can call it the internet portal, and somebody also call it as a web browser. During the meetings, typically we call it as a web browser, because when you activate it, you have to ask the customer, is it okay when you use IE browser? You want to use a Google Chrome? You want to use any other browser? It could be an Firefox, or it could be, I'm not sure anybody using Netflix, all that stuff. Okay. Now then SAP Biller Direct supports the entire communication process from presenting the bill to clarifying discrepancies and reconciling accounts and payments. It is an end-to-end process. Clarifying the discrepancies, how do you do that? using dispute management. Reconciling accounts means you need to set up a reconciliation process when the payment is processed from the credit card company to bank, where bank will take amount from customer account and customer account, put it in your client's account. This process you need to have as an end-to-end. And this process is a 3-way steps. You need to have a minimum 2 clearing accounts, so that the clearing accounts will tell you how much amount you have processed. I mean, that is your customers have processed by way of portal payment. Second thing is whether the customer credit card account is taken amount or not. And the third one is whether the bank of the customer taken money from your account, put it in your, taken from customer account, put it in your client account. So in this process, you need to maintain at least minimum 2 clearing accounts. Okay. So this process has to be this process has to be communicated from end to end in a proper way. So this is also another way of a feature. I can say another feature that SAP provides. Biller direct and integration process. Some of them you have seen. Collection management, you know. Dispute management, you know. Credit management, you know. And the fourth one is biller direct. The process works is you create a sales order, electronic billing processing system, clarifying the complaints, proactively receivable processing and processing customer payment. Create a sales order, will do a credit check. You see that, right? FSCM credit management. During the create sales order, credit management functionality will be called up. At the time of electronic billing and processing a system, then biller direct module will call up. Clarifying the complaints, if the customer has any discrepancies, it will be taken care by your dispute management. If your client wants to do a proactive collection, then it is your collection management that will take care of. The finally processing customer payments in SAP. So this is how it got integrated in FSCM, other modules, and biller direct. Now, what are the features? The features of the SAP FSCM biller direct: present account balance, that is credit and payments to customer on the internet, from your customers by electronic means such as SMS or email of a new bills and credits, partial payments using SAP biller direct, cancellation of scheduled payments, clear payments against open items, to contact you direct through internet, integration with the SAP dispute management. These are the quite possible things that has been happening in your real world when you are using a credit card, when you are purchasing something, when there is the transaction happens in your account. Countries like in India, any transaction that happens with your bank, you will get an alert. There's a payment that you have made it. The moment I swipe a card, my debit card in some shop, immediately I will get an alert. You purchased this much amount of goods or material from so and so shop, and this is debited from your account. Now this is your available balance. In US also, you will get it provided you enable that option. You need to enable, but in India you will get it. All the banks will support it. So the similar SMS that you want to get it, that you can enable it through using a portal. Then using SAP biller direct, if you want to enable your customers to make a partial payments, that you can do it. That is again configuration, enabling partial payments using biller direct. The partial payment could be a residual item functionality or pure partial payment functionality. Sometimes what you do is you make an automatic payment by scheduling it. You want to make a minimum payment to your credit cards. If you have an electronic payment signature authorizing the bank to get minimum payment from your credit card company, authorizing your credit card company to deduct minimum payment from your bank checking account on monthly basis, they will deduct from your bank account. Okay, that is a scheduled payment. At the same time, if you want to cancel those scheduled payment using a biller direct, that you can do it using SAP biller direct functionality. Not your credit card, means SAP and portal to the customer. You are allowing your customer, suppose your customer, the insurance company, they are implementing a biller direct. You go to the client says that all my customers, they will pay their insurance by check. At the same time, they also, at the same time, they also prefer to make payment by portal. When they make payment by portal, they will see that they will authorize us to get money from their bank account on monthly. That is a scheduled payment from your client's customer. If you want to have a functionality to cancel that a scheduled payment, that you can do it. Okay, scheduled payments will be there. It all depends upon which client is implementing a biller direct, particularly insurance companies and credit card companies. If they are implementing SAP biller direct means they have a process called monthly deduction from their customer's account towards the charges. Either it's a minimum credit card amount or it is a insurance premium, car insurance or whatever it is, a monthly that they will get it. So if they want to cancel that schedule using SAP biller direct functionality, they can cancel it. At the same time, if the customers process the payment open item, then in SAP you want to clear that item, that you can see. Some customer says, no, we don't want to clear them. On daily basis, we want to see that which customer has made what payment. I assume that there are genuine payment. Then I want an additional functionality to run and clear those things. That also they can do it. They can do it account clear functionality. Now contact you directly through internet. They can directly. You have another web portal, right? If you log any portal, you see that contact us, customer service. Okay. Similarly, if you put that on the enterprise portal, customers will be able to contact you and send a message to you about their account. Integration with the dispute management, it is there that we have seen. Now, users. How many types of users will be there in biller direct? As I said, there are 3 types of users: web users, reference users, pool users. This is a technical. This setup of these many users is a technical setup. And you have to help the basis folks how these have to be done, and they'll be able to set up in the system. Who is a web user? A user who logs on to SAP Biller Direct using the web browser and process from the payment. Example: the person or the business responsible for paying the bills over the web. We cannot assign an individual role or profile to the user. Suppose when you log a portal, into a portal, what happens is there are 100,000 of people that they log into the system. You cannot create 100,000 profiles or 100,000 roles in the SAP system. Because if you in the organization, when you have an accounts receivable, accounts payable, general ledger, sales, each one will have its own role. One cannot enter into other role. Suppose accounts receivable, you cannot make payments to your vendor. Your accounts payable people, they cannot process incoming payment. How that happens? You are preventing them using the roles and responsibilities profile setup. But similarly, your SAP system is accessed by several customers through portal. But it doesn't mean that for each customer you will set up a different profile. You will use a separate user only for web. He can log in his own web user, but you cannot define corresponding profile each one. For the user, just create a web user to use the web functionality. Now the reference user. A user in the backend system that is assigned to the web user in master data maintenance, and that also has the authorizations and roles that the web user should have. Rather, instead of creating a web user, one user in the SAP system for each customer, they will use a reference user. The reference user, what it does is, the functionalities and the access roles will be similar for every customer. Every customer, he wants to see the account statement and make a payment, but only specific to them. For that, we will create one reference user and we will assign system technically that web user will call the reference user and he can do the rest of the activities. Now, pool user. Pool user is purely a technical user with which data is transferred and which is used for read access to the backend system. What this pool user do is, as soon as you log into the system, if you sign out, system will not disconnect immediately. Rather, it will hold some, it will hold in the intermediate. If you disconnect it, if some other customer logs in, then what it does is, it will give a similar connection, but to the account of that customer. And then what it does is, it will bring the data from SAP database from the backend and push it to the pool user, from pool user to web user. So these are the 3 different users that will be in Biller Direct: web user, reference user, pool user. These days we should know that when we go to the customer, because portal guy says something, and basis guy will tell something, and we should know how it is to be handled. That we will handle it using these three different type of users: web user, full user, reference user. Now, users and processors. Your customer will be there in the back end, establishing a relationship with the customer through web user. Now, the web user will call the reference user, where your authorizations will be validated. In the pool user, creating pool user using web user, that is collection of web users in pool user, that is the read-only access. I mean to say, when the customer is called, your web user will be first touched, because he will be contacting through portal. He will be pool of users, and using this pool, system will connect to reference user, which in turn will validate the authorizations and bring the required data and show it to the portal person. That portal person is the web user person. You have a notification functionality, as I said, using an SMS and all that stuff. Let us see that step by step. Customer who is SAP Builder Direct, to display their account and invoice information, can be automatically informed about changes to their account using different methods of communication. The changes can be triggered by new invoice or credit memos. How a customer account will get changed? It gets changed either posting an entry. This entry can be a new invoice, or giving a credit memo for the excess payment or shortage of goods supply, or for against any discrepancy, or it can be in a late payment charges. Anything this happens will impact the customer account. The method of communication supported here includes SMS message for mobile telephones and emails. The customer receives an email with general information about the invoice that can include a hyperlink, which takes the customer to the biller's portal site. In this way, biller can avoid having to send a paper invoice. That what we are talking about, the very initial day of FSCM, that you can save cost by not sending a paper invoice to customers. You can send an SMS alert, and you can send also email alert. If your mobile device that you have will also allow to look into the websites, that is the portal functionality. Using your mobile phone, you can do all your business transactions. That SAP enables that functionality. Mobile applications. Using mobile applications, you can interface with the SAP Builder Direct. Or if your mobile phone is not having 3G or 4G any capacities, if it just has the capabilities of receiving the SMS message, you still have an option to get SMS message. Again, getting an SMS message or not, getting an subscribing it to your alerts is end customer's call. It is not the Builder Direct that they will post. It's not Builder Direct that they post this particular functionality to the end customers. End customers have to log in first, register themselves. The system will validate. Then it will allow, if the functionality of email alert and SMS is to be sent, then only it will send it. The functionalities, the capabilities that SAP Builder Direct has, but it is the end customers to decide whether he wants to have that or not. If the following notification formats are possible for the email: text only, simply email with link, HTML format, or even the PDF attachment. If you want to get your account statement by PDF, you can take the option. It will send you that attachment along with the hyperlink. Now, coming to SAP business process, there are different functions in process. Your customer can use this process to carry out the following action: display open bills, paid bills, credits, payments, and detailed information for a payment, example cash discount and deductions. In one sentence, what customers can look into that is, using an FBL payment transaction, whatever that a business can see in a customer account, the same can be seen by even your customers also. By doing that, you don't have to explain the customer each and every line item. The customer will go through it by referring his own purchase orders. If you find any discrepancy, either you can send an email to the business, or you create a dispute case against the invoice. You can see all the accounting transactions that you will see in the FBL pipeline. Administrative data in SAP Builder Direct. Administrative data means the user related information. Again, The user registration is a different functionality that you have to help your client how a customer wants to register. In general, people those who use SAP Builder Direct will allow new registration for the customers in two different ways. One is let customer log in and give the reference of the old invoice number or old invoice amount, and they typically refer last 3 months. So the customer at the time of registering, he will give last invoice number and date and last invoice amount, and in turn it will go and validate in SAP, and it will allow to create a registration. As soon as the system will do a cross verification of the invoice number, invoice amount, information that is submitted by the end customer will trigger a message stating that you have been successfully able to register to this website. If that is not matching, if the customer whatever amount he is entering for the invoices, physical invoices that received in the past, if it is not matching, then it will throw an error message. The information what you supplied is not matching with our records. Okay, so there is a different way of matching your registration information. When you try to create a registration on your any website, sometimes when you process the payment, it also will ask you to give the bank your residential address along with the bank information, your name, your first name, your last name, your address, your zip code get validated. Similarly, when your end customers try to register with the client, your end client business, they have to validate their invoice number and amount on the portal at the time of registration. This is one way of getting registered. So this question will also come at the time of workshop. Now administrative data, then full and partial payment clearing, cancelling payments, approving bills. So approving bills means approving to make a payment automatically. And if you want to see that any of the payments that is in progress, if you want to cancel the payment, that you can do it, so that the invoice gets reversed and your payment will come back, when your customer payment will come back to its bank. Sometimes what happens, you will return the material. When you return the material, you ask that now you want to cancel the payment. Either you can do it or your business can do it. Either one can do it. But it should be a successful and a valid transaction. Now other business, SAP Builder Direct business process. The following objects from SAP account receivable, accounting or other components are displayed in SAP Builder Direct. Now as I said, what you will see as soon as a portal, a web browser is opened by your customer. Customer means end customer. If you log into portal, you will say www.bosch.com. Then you will supply either user login and password. Then what you will be able to see? First you will see the bills. Came from different billing components, SD or CRM. If your business, if your client is using CRM and sales and distribution module, either of them can be interfaced with SAP Builder Direct. Then all the invoices, whatever is there, will be shown to your end customer, all the bills, open items. Open items is, it includes both invoices, debit memos, credit memos, payments, and any down payments and bills of exchange. All the open items typically shown in the customer account in SAP can be shown on the web browser. Inquiries and complaints. There is nothing but your disputed items. From a customer entered using SAP Builder Direct are stored in the customer's account and text for the original bills or as a dispute case in SAP dispute management. Those things also your end customer will be able to see. Master data, address, bank details, control parameters is primarily displayed on the master data field. Again, what happens is some customer says that this customer data has to shown to customer in this format. Then you have to change it. Like they want a color and a zip code in a different font. All those things they will give the requirement that you have to put it on the function spec and give it to your portal person, he will be doing it. The moment the customer log on to the Builder Direct, he can create a payment address, he can create credits and make payments, and you can see administrative data. On the other side, they can see the open bills, paid bills, display open items, and you can also display payment advices, that is the previous payment advice. You can also have a balance confirmation, balance and line items. Again, as I said, it is not hard and fast rule. It is some technical value as well as the function modules, those are available in SAP. Your ABAPers will be able to pull the data. When you say that this you exclude it, he will exclude it. If you want to include, he will include it. All that what he does is, he will just pass the information. Your portal guy will take the responsibility of showing which side of the website. On the left side of the website, on the right side, on the top, hyperlink, or you have to see on the horizontally, you want to see the vertically, that your portal guy will take. This is only a container. Your developer will give a container. He will take the container and put it in that particular link, and that link will enable you and go and pull the data. So this is how, these are the some of the business process that customers can see on the system. And end of this Builder Direct, I will let you know that what are the technical badges and function modules that they have to use in Builder Direct. That is most important. You can keep that as in your directory or as a part of your interview questions. You can keep referring it. Then that is the important thing that will help you to get a break in Builder Direct. If you are getting a break in a Builder Direct means, trust me, you will become as a Builder Direct consultant, and the billing is very high. Billing means client billing. It is not really that tough. The only thing is little knowledge. You can take that the technical information. I will provide it to you at the end of the Builder Direct session.